angles that would have like long-term, effects. And Jerry Lawler's a good enough performer to where, he can make that sort of thing work, But of course, it's like...
that was a different audience, see.
Oh, yes, that's right.
See, that was when they were getting them for the young adults, not the fucking, preteen, 10 to 12, bracket. You see, you have to understand, Alex, that children have, like, retardedly short memories.
Oh, yes, that's right. All the ADD and everything, so...
Yeah, and not to mention the childhood obesity problems running rampant. So,
right.
It's just like,
I guess I see your point.
They've got to stand to their audience. I mean, Cena's rolling around calling people turd burglars, man. That should tell you their audience, right?
Yes, and they're doing such a good job making money off of that audience.
Because
that's sarcasm, by the way. Just in case anybody doesn't look at their financials or anything. I have seen their financials. They're a publicly traded company, which means every single one of you are entitled to see their financials, and they don't look good.
Yeah, you see, that's primarily because their primary audience has no, for instance, source of income.
You know what's kind of crazy? And this is completely off topic. Like, not completely off topic, but this is another rant, sort of, tangent of mine. What killed WCW, alright? I just read Death of WCW, and then I watched WCW die. I watched Nitro in 99. I saw what happened, but and I've heard shoot interviews and read, stuff on it. So it's like, before reading the book, I kind of had a good idea what happened. But the Death of WCW is a really good book, and it kind of just sums up what killed WCW. And ultimately, what killed WCW was they had these top guys, okay, and they, like Hogan, Hall, and Nash and everything, mostly just like the NWO guys, and they brought them in and they drew all this business with them, and then what ended up happening was they didn't want to put anybody over them, and they wouldn't elevate the young talent, and they got kind of locked into this thing where they're doing all these bullshit finishes because they don't want it, nobody wants to lose to anybody, or, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to make anybody lesser, greater, so on and so forth. And the irony of this is kind of like the exact same scenario with WWE. Like, WWE right now is, in a sense, kind of where WCW was in 95, where they had just, been doing pretty good on business, and then it just started declining. Even they were still applying the same formula. The only difference is, the problem in WCW was they never put over the baby faces, and the problem in WWE is they never put over the heels.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me. I'm not saying WWE is going to go out of business, but I'm just saying in 1998, WCW did its greatest year of business of all time, and 3 years later they were dead. 1 year later, they were already on the decline. It can happen that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started hitting their decline, they started selling the same amount of pay-per-views that WWE's selling right now. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Backstage, they set up basically Vicky and Dolph against John Cena on the SmackDown the night, Tuesday night. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's good that they're setting up matches for that show. I guess they want to get a good rating for it and everything, and that, it's positive that they're at least building stuff up. But one would think that, based on every wrestling fucking product ever in the history of everything that's succeeded, that you would build up people not paying to see, even just watching for free on television, John Cena against Dolph Ziggler, by maybe having Dolph Ziggler beat John Cena and saying, if you watch tomorrow night, you're going to see John Cena get his revenge on that asshole Dolph Ziggler. Isn't that like how it's supposed to work?
No, Alex, because that would make sense and actually possibly encourage people to watch.
That's right. Oh, you know what? I forgot the children audience. See, I think I'm starting to understand now. The key to the children audience, right, is you got to do everything backwards.
It's true.
So like for the adult audience, you would go in one way. And then the children audience, you have to clearly go in the complete opposite way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, children think our way is stupid.
I bet in Bizarro World, if there are parallel universes, the mirror universe to ours, the WWE probably has the best product.
Ever.
But they're failing miserably, because in Bizarro World, the show that we're watching would sell 10 trillion buys.
Yep.
That's the problem. WWE's not presenting a bad product. They're just presenting the wrong product for the spatial universe they exist with it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, so that brought us to the main event of the evening.
Yes, we had Randy Orton, Jerry the King Lawler, and John Morrison versus The Miz, Alex Riley, and Sheamus, setting up in the opener, as Dee explained already, so I don't know why I'm explaining it again.
We kind of tangent. We've gone on tangents. People may have gotten lost in the labyrinth of our sophisticated dialogue.
The labyrinth of our dialect. Something like that. I like that. But this actually wasn't too bad. They started off, they did like the fall seat thing where, you have the first babyface get beaten up and you think the comeback is after he gets the hot tag, but then they swerve you and they do the second,
Yeah.
And I always like to see that because I feel like that's like in the modern audience where the fans kind of know the flow of a match. Like they kind of know like there's a shine, then there's a heat, then there's a comeback, and then there's a finish. So when you swerve them, I think you actually get the fans invested more.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't swerve. You don't swerve them with like the TNA thing where like a guy comes out and it's like he's gonna help this guy, and it looks like he's going to, and then he's like, no, I'm helping this guy. Like I just imagine in a real not to get off on a tangent, but I just imagine in a real life scenario, like imagine if like a couple of dudes are beating you up in a bar, right? And then you run up and you're like, I'm gonna fight these fucking bar guys, and then you hit him. Like, why would you stop and do the fake?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in this situation? Or like you run up and it's like, oh, I'm gonna help you guys. No, I'm working against you. Like, that's retarded. But so that's the wrong swerve, not Vince Russo swerve. Match psychology swerve.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, this was a pretty good match. I have a question. How long has Orton been using the angle slam?
I don't know. I think he actually probably busted that out since he lost the title.
Wow, interesting. He doesn't do a very good one.
No, he doesn't.
No, I think he basically just does a sloppy Samoan drop, really, at this point.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah. Then, at the end, basically, Miz was about to hit Lawler with the, what do you call it?
Skull-crushing finale.
Skull-crushing finale, thank you. And, Randy Orton ran in, hit him with the RKO, and then Jerry Lawler pinned him, which, of course, the way you build up Randy Orton versus The Miz tomorrow night for free on television for the title, this should be a big deal, right? You're going to have a title match for free on TV? Right? Yeah. You remember when that was important?
Yes, I do, Alex. Yes, I do.
Those are good times. And then, but of course, the way to build that up is have another guy who's a commentator pin the champion.
Yep, for sure.
That's how you get a champion over, my friend. You gotta have commentators pinning them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, did you ever find Triple H more credible than after he got pinned by Jim Ross? Did you just not?
Oh yeah.
Did you not just look at that guy and you were just like, he lost to Jim Ross?
Well,
that guy is.
Listen, if you go back in time, really, all the good champions in wrestling, the ones that really drew money and succeeded, I remember when Hulk Hogan was pinned by fucking Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan got a couple of wins over him. I remember when Bret Hart, was pinned by Todd Pettengill. Because those are the things that back then made the most sense, and that's why they drew money. Sarcasm, people. I don't know if you're catching. Here's the thing, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but I read that post where Drake said he's like 15, right? And what tripped me out was that means he was born in 95, which means that he was 2 in 97, right? Which means that, and maybe he goes back and watches old shows, and if he doesn't, Drake, I'm telling you, if you've never gone back and watched wrestling before your time, it is so much better. It's so much better. So much better, dude. If you haven't watched it, seriously, I'm telling you, as a friend to a friend, I'm telling you, my friend, because we're all friends.
You're all friends here.
We're all friends here. Watch some Raws from 97. Do what my friend DGX is doing. Watch some Nitros, too. I'm telling DGX, see, you guys might not be aware of this, but DGX is a proud WWF guy, you see. So he has avoided the WCW.